When most of us learn a new language, we imagine reading a list of words on a page, pronouncing each one clearly and evenly. But if you try speaking English by giving every word an equal beat, native speakers will hear you as choppy and robotic. Instead, English rhythm relies on specific, heavy pulses, while the less important words shrink away. This leads to a specific quirk of English timing. You can double the number of words in a sentence without adding a single second to how long it takes to speak it. Take the phrase, "dogs eat bones." Now compare it to, "the dogs will eat the bones." Even though the second sentence doubles the word count, the time it takes to speak them both remains exactly the same. The heavy anchor words stay locked in place, and the new words just compress to fit the gap. Spoken English operates as a sequence of stressed beats rather than individual words. To comprehend native speakers, you have to tune your ear to that underlying music. Linguists and acousticians describe this phenomenon using a concept called isochrony. It is the architectural framework dictating how human languages divide time. Languages like Spanish, French, and Cantonese are syllable-timed. Every syllable in a sentence demands an equal, rigid beat, like a metronome ticking with exact precision. English is a stress-timed language. Only the primary stressed syllables dictate the tempo. The rhythm is elastic, swaying to accommodate the spaces between those major beats, much like a jazz drummer. This slide shows how syllable counts become irrelevant in English. The words education and papa both resolve to exactly one strong beat. To maintain that single beat, unstressed syllables must be drastically shortened, unlike the staccato beats at the top. When native speakers seem to speak too fast or swallow their words, they aren't being careless. It is an acoustic necessity to keep those heavy, stressed beats perfectly aligned. If the rhythm dictates timing, we need to know exactly which words earn that heavy stress. The vocabulary divides into two camps. First are content words, acting as the primary signal. Nouns, main verbs, and adjectives fall into this category. They carry the core meaning, the raw information you need to understand a sentence. Then there are the function words. Think of these as the background noise. These are your articles, prepositions, and auxiliary verbs. They act as the grammatical glue holding the sentence together, but offer very little standalone meaning. To maintain a steady rhythm, English speakers ruthlessly compress these function words. They physically crush the grammar to make acoustic room for the signal. This intense compression produces a linguistic byproduct called the schwa. It is a tiny, neutral vowel sound that replaces clear vowels, allowing entire grammatical structures to shrink into a split-second breath. Dropping and blurring syllables is a highly efficient language feature. It intentionally mutes the grammar so the vital meaning can ring out clearly. Function words make up roughly 50% of spoken English discourse. Knowing that half the words you hear are intentionally crushed into weak forms requires a shift in how you listen. Listeners trying to catch every individual sound often lose the thread. Mastery comes from looking past blurred syllables to find the heavy anchor words. The same rule applies to speaking. Fluency comes from knowing exactly which words to hit with force and which ones to hide in the shadows. You don't need to speak faster or work your jaw harder to sound natural. You simply have to stop fighting the tempo and let the stressed beats guide your rhythm.